Nigeria's Central Securities Clearing System, what we call the CSCS PLC, trading on NASD over-the-counter market, got a better rating from Thomas Murray, Nigeria's depository, a settlement and clearinghouse for securities trading, in particular equities and others. So let's talk to the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Haruna Jallo Waziri, who is live to us from our studios at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Mr. Waziri, good morning. It's good to have you on the program. Thanks for coming through.
Boston, good morning. Always good to be here.
Thank you very much. It's good to have you here on the show this morning. So, talk to us about his recent Thomas Murray A+ rating, from A to A+ rating. What does it really mean for the CSCS PLC?
So, you know, in the world of the CSDs globally, you know, there is a rating agency called Thomas Murray, just like you have rating agencies within the banking industry and instruments, where you have Fitch, Augusto, and Co, and all of that. So we solicited for the rating for Thomas Murray. We did that about 3 years ago, earlier on, and they rated us A. And at that time, there was only one other CSD in Africa, which was Strait of South Africa, that was rated A+. And one of our objectives was to actually get to a rating from A to A+. So we were able to achieve that over the last at the last rating circle, which they did to us in January, and you know, good enough, it brought us an A+ rating.
Okay, so when we talk about this rating, what does it really rate? What does Thomas Murray actually look at in your operations for which the CSCS qualified for an A+ rating?
Fantastic. So what it does is that it checks your processes, it checks your risk management tools and you know, and applications. It checks how you interface with your market. It checks what the market behavior is in terms of how you synchronize either trades or settlements and all of that. And then overall, use some kind of methodology to actually come out with it. Now, what it tells you specifically is that we are becoming very, very efficient in how we process all of our settlements and trades. It also tells you that we have significant, you know, risk management policies and procedures put in place to protect the assets and the trading systems in the market. And it also tells you that we are also, you know, liquid in terms of ability to be able to perform our functions. So those three major aspects are how, you know, they try and bring out, you know, the ratings of a CSD as it is. The criteria is more than the three I mentioned, you know, but it's quite a very large, you know, profile that, you know, they look at before they come to this rating.
Okay, so and how does that tie in with what you call the ISO recertification of the CSCS? That's a total different ball game, or how do they connect to place CSCS within the rank and file of other depositories across the frontier and emerging markets, at least within the African sub-region?
So this ISO certifications on our information security, as you know, we're beginning to do a lot of things from a strategic perspective. So we're beginning to expose our, you know, systems to third parties within the market itself, and very soon, like I said earlier on at another interview, that our APIs will soon be available for third parties to be able to call and do a lot of things with us. Now, the certification is to, you know, give us that confidence that all of the things that we put in place from an information security perspective is actually adequate and is standard, and hence that particular ISO certification also triggered or helped us get an improvement on our rating. So the two are kind of connected, and we're very proud of the people working with us here and the community that was able to allow us to get to that ISO certification or recertification, as well as, you know, leading up to the Thomas Murray upgrade from A to A+.
So what new process-driven initiatives are we looking at here now that you've gotten recertification? You got Thomas Murray's higher assessment, or what you call rating, as it were?
So one of the things that we built around our systems is, you know, one of our biggest stakeholders, as you know, are registrars. So registrars typically would, you know, exchange data with us on a daily basis regarding the register of members of, you know, companies that are traded on the exchanges. So what we've done now is, you know, we're testing a system where the registrars can connect to us STP and be able to exchange that data, validating from their own end before it comes to us, so that it's seamless when it comes to our system. That particular system is going to go live in the first week of June. We think that should, reduce turnaround time in terms of how things are done from a update of register perspective, and also ensure that, there is a complete reconciliation at any point in time when that data has been exchanged. And for us, that's a huge milestone in terms of how we service the investors and how we service the brokers as well as the stock exchanges in the post-trade situation.
You meeting, let's wrap it up. You're meeting, you'll be sitting at the table with your chairman holding your shareholders meeting in the next couple of days, about a week or two hence. So what will be the big story here from the CSCS being traded on NESD over the counter? What are the highlights of your 2018 numbers?
As you know, we published our account a couple of weeks ago. The AGM is on the 30th of this month. Despite, what has happened in the market last year, 2018, as you know, market dipped about double digits. We saw volume and value dip. And, basically, we rely on the fees on trading in the market as well as depository fees from our clients outside the pool of funds that we have that we invest. So, as you know, with any other capital market operator last year, they felt the pinch of the market. But despite that, our revenues went up from 8.6 billion to 9 billion. And we had a profitability margin, PBT, of about 7% increase from previous year. As you know, we also have maintained a 53% margin as a company over the last 1 year. And so despite the tough times and all of the challenges within the market, we still are able to grow revenues by 4% and also PBT by 7%. We think that's a major achievement in the sense that, at least we maintained what was last year. And we're also going to recommend to the shareholders to pay a dividend of 70 kobo, which is exactly what we paid last year. So hopefully that should keep the investors smiling, pending what turns out this year in 2019.
Okay. We'll try and see the smiles on the faces of your shareholders when you meet them in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you so much, Haruna Jallo Waziri, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at CSCS PLC. Thank you very much. Have a great day and, of course, a long holiday ahead of everyone.